Okay, so basically, what we just want to go over today is a couple things that benefit you during the quiz. So basically, all right, we want to go over bearings, an angle of elevation, and angle of depression. So, all right, when dealing with bearings, we're looking at problem number 3. Okay, in the packet, it says a plane leaves JFK International Airport and travels due west. Nope. Yes. No, that wasn't the one. My bad. Hold on. Get to the one because it covers more things and will be more beneficial to you. All right. So we're looking at. Nope, that isn't it. All right. So we're looking at problem number 13. All right. And problem number 13 says a boat is sailing due east parallel to the shoreline at a speed of 20 miles per hour. At a given time to the bearing to the lighthouse is south 68 degrees, and 30 minutes later the bearing is south 52 degrees east. Find the distance from the boat to the lighthouse 30 minutes after it started. Okay, so obviously these 3 points form the triangle. And what you got to keep in mind is, all right, at a given time, the bearing to the lighthouse is south 68 degrees east. And 30 minutes later, so that's boat position 1, boat position 2. So that's associated with that. That's associated with that. Now it says the bearing is south 68 degrees east, which means the bearing is coming from the south and going east. Keep in mind that that's 68 degrees. All right, so that's not the angle in there, but that in total, that's going to make a right angle. So you should be able to find that angle measure using subtraction. Now, the second time, 30 minutes later, the bearing is south 52 degrees east. So that's this position. All right. So that's 52 degrees. But again, if you look at that angle, that's obtuse. So you know that's got to be greater than 180. Well, again, this is 90 degrees. So the difference is instead of working with one operation, you're going to work with a different operation. All right. So that's how you find those angles. Now, the last component of this problem is the speed. All right. It says a boat is sailing due east parallel to the shoreline at a speed of 20 miles per hour. Find the distance from the boat to the lighthouse 30 minutes after it started. All right. So, all right, 30 minutes after it started, okay, is going to put it, all right, should be able to enable you to find the distance there. All right. Now you're going to have 2 angles on the side, which tells me this seems to be a problem that leads to law of sines. Okay, but you can figure that part out on your own. All right, so there's that one to go through that. Okay, idea number 2 is angle of elevation and angle of depression. All right, and in looking at that, we're going to look at problem number 19. All right, actually, we'll look at angle of elevation first. Well, no, yeah, we'll do angle of elevation first. All right, so we're looking at, let's say, problem number 4. All right, it says Matt measures the angle of elevation of the peak of a mountain is 35 degrees. Susie, who is 1,200 feet closer on a straight level path, measures the angle of elevation as 42 degrees. How high is the mountain? Okay, so basically, here's Matt. Okay. Okay. And this is going to be Susie. Okay. So there's Matt, there's Susie. Too much. All right. So here's Matt. Here's Susie, who's closer. And then here is the top of the mountain. Okay. So basically what happens is they form an obtuse triangle. So Matt's angle, which is here, it's going to go there. Now Susie's is different. Susie's, all right, is out here. But again, Susie's making an obtuse angle. So the 42 degrees is there, but please realize those two angles form a linear pair. And linear pairs add up to 180. So you should be able to use that idea to find that angle. Okay, now, all right, so we're going to have that angle and that angle. The problem we're going to have is that's the side we're trying to get, how high the mountain is. Well, there's two ways of going about it. I'm going to erase this. Erase this. All right. Draw it a little bigger to make it easier. All right. So here's Matt. Here's Susie, and here's the top of the mountain. All right. This we can assume is a right angle. All right. So you're going to end up with that angle, and you're going to end up with that angle, which again tends to make me think it's going to be law of sines. All right. Which should enable you to get that segment. Now, once you have that angle from the beginning, you also have that angle. That's a right triangle. So you can certainly use right triangle trig to figure out that, which is the height of the mountain that you're looking for. All right. Now, the last part of this, of course, deals with angle of elevations, partner in crime, angle of depression. All right. And what that means is we go to number 19. Two scuba divers are 20 meters apart below the surface of the water. They both spot a shark below them. The angle of depression from diver 1 to the shark is 47 degrees, and the angle of depression from diver 2 to the shark is 40 degrees. How far each of the divers from the shark? So here's the water. Here's diver 1. Here's diver 2. All right. Now keep in mind, here's our friend the shark. Okay. So they form the triangle looking at it. All right. Now it says angle of depression. Please keep in mind what that is. These are parallel. So there's your angle of depression. Oh, there's your angle of elevation and your depression. And then here's another angle of depression. So we'll call it D2, an angle of elevation there. All right. So keep in mind that's the angle of depression, not out here. Okay. It's inside. All right. So hopefully that helps. Tomorrow we'll give you a couple more hints. All right. And we'll also post the quarterly review for you to get started on that. All right. Stay safe, everybody. Take care. Bye.